with the collapse. But notice how G2 immediately say, let's go on to Faker, let's shut him down, while Perkz lands a good ultimate, and now the fight is split apart. 2v2 and 2 versus 3. And Arrow actually interrupts Caps, Mickey, and Perkz from taking the Realm Warp over, which then actually keeps them on that side to secure the kill on the
And I love that you point out that moment, because the Hunters became the hunted the moment they made the correct turn, and that just meant that Khan was woefully out of position.
Now, when I saw Marta's flash, his flash cleansed instantly. I didn't see whether or not Jankos caught him on the stun, but it didn't matter, and his Devour was one of those very powerful tools into the Impale from Skarner. Jankos is immediately going to summon the Rift Herald in the bottom lane. G2 have got themselves 1,000 gold advantage, and I think with that empowered charge, Perkz will be the recipient of this last plate and the tower gold. First blood secured, 2 dragons, 4 kills to 2, and it is a very, very strong start here for G2 Esports.
Trying to play both sides of the map. Caps teleported down, didn't end up being needed, but now cleared his top side, and SKT making a reverse play.
All right, Wonder's going to be in trouble. 4-member stack, but the teleport from Caps, Perkz, is going to be enough to save the day. Now Jankos stepping forward, Impale's available. He needs to find a target. The flash, is countered by a flash reply by SK Telecom. Faker and Clitter running. The chain of corruption was spreading. Khan got locked down in place. Now Mickey steps forward. Khan buys a little bit of time with that stopwatch for the kill. Is secured by Caps. Now Faker stepping forward as Teddy did not teleport, did not ultimate, and did not get involved.
And G2, after the pause, go from a 250 gold lead to a 2,500 gold lead. Beautiful stuff, constantly punishing these small plays that SKT tried to make.
And 1,800 gold of that lead, Vedius, is in Perkz's back pocket. He's got 6,100 gold to the 4,300 of Teddy. Caps is up around 600 over Faker. So very, very strong turnaround, and those proactive plays, those skirmishes and team fights that helped G2 get to this point.
It's been a game of inches. The chess pieces just being slightly better piloted by G2 in the early game, but across the entire map rather than just in a single lane, the utility from Teddy and Marta hasn't been utilized outside of the from downtown Ash arrow before the pause, and G2 continue to push up. And SKT, the quadrants they're safe in, get smaller and smaller.
So the gold lead is healthy, 2,500. G2 have made multiple proactive plays that have worked in their favor. And they turn their attention to now as the lanes have swapped. Chain of Corruption's on cooldown. Mickey and Perkz are stepping forward like they want to go, and that's because Jankos is running up. Predator Caps is here with Realm Warp as well. Oh, who's going to take the Realm Warp? Perkz just misses it. Not in range, may not matter anyway. Marta doesn't have Flash available. He's the next target. Impale brings the Catfish backwards. And G2 Esports find 2 kills. They're going to lose the middle tower, potentially, and they can reply on top.
Looks like G2 just have it out for the duo of Teddy and Marta. They do not want this duo to get ahead. They want to punish the Tahm Kench as much as possible. And I loved at the end of that replay, Marta, for the first time in this game, says, you know what, I can't save you. I'm out for myself. I gotta go.
And you're seeing Caps outroam Faker this time around. It's being super proactive, dodging lane. 130 CS at 15.5 is low by his standards, but he's just being that extra man to guarantee objectives.
So you can see here, Marta and Teddy. Teddy does have the flash, but he doesn't see the point in using it. The collapse comes in from the rest of the team. He thinks he can get the safety from Marta, but Marta realizes there's nowhere I can take you. There's nothing I can do, but he realizes too late, and then the collapse comes out from the rest of G2.
For anybody that has been watching the entirety of the series, at the beginning of the showdown on Countdown, we talked about who pilots Rise better. Faker is the Rise. There are movies made of him. The skin that Caps is using belongs to Faker. But the way that Caps plays the Silence helps the rest of his team. 3-0-3. This is how G2 have unlocked many victories.
The only small food for thought that SKT can talk about is keeping up Flash on Teddy, having a Victor. Their wave clear in this game state is superior to what we saw from G2 in the previous game. So they are able to stall out, and the longer they can keep outer turrets up, the more chance they have to try to inch their way back into a game that right now, G2 is controlling handedly.
And the one thing I will say is, while G2 tried to split up the map, remember the SKT still have this strong pick potential of the Ashe Tahm Kench duo, where the arrow lands and then Tahm Kench brings the target in to potentially look for a pick.
All right, Caps will sidestep the arrow for now. Realm Warp starts. He needs to dodge the CC, and he does so. 3-0-3, manages to get that tower, and now all of a sudden G2 pushing. By the way, looking at Perkz, he's got the Rage Blade and Blade of the Ruin King completed. Caps may be doing some tactical inting, let's find out. Rune Prison goes down,
1v2
Spellbox as well. Faker manages to steal the Realm Warp, but he's the one that's in trouble. Realm Warp will complete because Rune Prison was on cooldown. And while G2 was pushing the bottom lane, teleport to save Caps at least secures the dragon.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Wonder needed to TP in there. I think Caps was pretty happy in that 1 versus 2. But Jankos, they're looking for this 2 in the mid lane.
All right, Devour goes out, and unfortunately Jankos decides not to flash. It would have been a very juicy double impale. Holds on to it for now. 5 plates to 1. The mid tower is now the focus for G2.
Hard to take down, though, and Victor was able to wave clear in bot. It feels like Drake is a free win condition for G2 this game. SKT has had no control of the bottom quadrant of this game ever since their first Drake start very early was thwarted by a TP down from Gnar. So for now at least, SKT don't lose mid lane outer turret. But coming on 20 minutes, it feels like SKT and G2 with so much overlap in the comps, G2 in a very comfortable spot.
Very comfortable indeed. 2 items being picked up for Caps and for Perks. Caps going for the Spellbinder to complement his phase rush. He's going to be one speedy boy.
It's catch build. This is very much focused on getting that first Rune Prison or first empowered Q down. And from there, Skarner and the rest of the team can follow in tow. So a lot of catch damage on the side of the Rise. G2 invading, they'd love red side control.
You need to get your vroom vrooms ready quick shot because you've got the Predator on the Skarner. You've got the speedy stuff on the Rise. Everyone is going to be looking to go quick as they try to catch out SKT.
I cannot wait. Quick vroom engage. 5,000 gold lead for G2 Esports. Mata in this engage, by the way, sitting on that QSS. That's a flash impale. Khan will get devoured though. Not going to get killed just yet. Chain of Corruption has already been used. Here comes Wonder. He eats an enchanted crystal arrow to the face, and Faker's been able to join the fray. 5 members of G2 trying to push forward, but the minion wave is getting obliterated. Oh! Massive! Manages to steal the Gnar. Faker turns around. He hijacks G2's chances. Listen to that crowd as SKT turn it around.
That was absolutely insane from Faker. That was the perfect opportunity, and he capitalized on it. Beautiful stuff from him as he defends the tier 1 tower.
I was watching the exhausted Gnar, wasn't ready for Faker's Gnar ultimate. Such a conditional most of the time. Faker pushes out. That's, again, a lot of time bought by SKT.
Not over yet. SKT are going to continue the pressure. 3 members pushing into the top lane. SKT do not have any towers yet, but this should be unlocked. And Faker wasn't able to get the one in the mid lane. Yes, that's a few kills on the board. SKT are still down 3,500 gold. But my word, that makes you a little nervous if you're an EU fan. Beautiful, beautiful play from Faker.
Faker, playmaker. That song, that tune, that rhyme was written for him because the number of things that he has done just like this. And we can see the siege is being set up by G2. They have top lane pushed in, they have bot lane pushed in. Everything looks great for them, and G2's like, right, let's find this quick pick onto Khan, but then Mata comes in for the save once again.
And with the QSS can walk up that aggressive with 2 cleanse effects, the re-engage starts, you think, okay, we're just gonna back away from here, no harm, no foul. Faker hasn't hijacked an ability just yet. Sees Wander, rolls in, 5-man Gnar ultimate. It doesn't win them the game, but I'm sure we'll track back if SKT take down the series 3-1. And remember that Faker play.
And that hijack was so close to catching Mickey's Swarm instead, and how different that could have looked if it was a different ultimate. Instead, it works out, and that means G2 a little bit nervous as they go into the fight. Look at the damage from Faker.
Potential of Silas, always something to note. G2 once again Staunted, they desperately want this mid lane out of turret, and they might catch Khan.
All right, Khan is being run down. Impale will bring him backwards, but at what cost? Mickey's Chain of Corruption, or Glacial Fissure rather, goes down. There's at least 1 for 1. Bleed goes down as Perks is obliterated. That's a stolen Impale. Faker pulls one backwards. That's Caps down. It's all a wonder. Mickey's running for his life. Gets a tongue lashing, and that's slowed down. No Devour comes up yet, but the Abyssal Voyage will deliver on the backside. Faker decides to re-engage. Now Jankos trying to push forward using those crystal slashes. Manages to get at least a little bit of a stun, but it won't be enough. Wonder's about to gnaw out, but I don't know if he wants to fight. Can hop over the wall. Flash is available as well. G2 are losing fights!
And it's Faker that is determining the outcome of it every single time. This time he hijacks the Skarner ultimate to drag Caps underneath the tower and secure the kill onto the biggest damage dealer that G2 has right now. Beautiful stuff from SKT as they claw their way back into this game.
During draft, Faker looked at his PC and said, I feel a disturbance in the force. People are saying Klid is the best player on the team. And he's trying to shut that theory down.
And it started off here, if you notice, with a 2-for-1. They had already killed the Victor off screen, and then it's a 1-for-1. Clid goes down, so 2-for-1 overall. But notice what happens when the Skarner ult kills Rise. They're out of damage. You see some of your worries, Quickshot, in that Wonder has no role in the rest of the fight. They're just chasing down for whatever free kills they can get.
Yeah, you said it, Papa Smithy, and the interrupt comes out on the Tom Kench ultimate, but it doesn't matter. Trying to escape from an Ashe and a Sylas with these rotations, there's very little that they can do. But again, G2 trying to siege onto this mid-tier one.
All right, it's a 3,000 gold lead for G2 still, but it does not feel like it matters. The Mountain Drake is being started. SKT have felt the priority from G2. Mountain Drake should go down. The Asher will tag out Mickey. Mickey's going to get in trouble. No, and just to use the stopwatch for now. Caps is going to be able to help out Jankos to secure the Dragon. Now they're backing away. Mickey's gone down. 4v5 at best. Round Warp starts to channel. Not going to get interrupted. G2 get the Baron for Mickey's life, but SK Telecom are on the hunt for blood.
And you just see that Wonder gets the transformation that time, but it's so hard to set up Realm Warp, outplays, and also a Narabar in the perfect spot. SKT, despite winning so many skirmishes in a row, still don't have one turret at the 23-minute mark.
And G2, they're holding on to their 3,000 gold lead, but you can see that SKT refuse to go down without a fight. They are matching G2 in the early game. They brought the kill difference to 9-8. And now we need to see these QSSs start coming out from both these teams. The Skarner ultimate, the Varus ultimate, the Ashe ultimate, the potential steals from the Sylas mean that QSS is going to be a very important item in this game.
And when the standing gold goes down on this turret lead, if it ever is closed right now 2-0, we're basically at an even gold game as well, Quickshot. So this one team fight, this really huge late game fight that decides it, I think we're set up for it.
This is the closest game we've had this series. They have traded back and forth, and despite the metrics implying G2 are in the lead, there's a lot of power to SKT's comp. And the one thing that I do think is a benefit for G2, 4 Elemental Drakes under their belt. Mountain coming up means that Elder Dragon buff is going to be a juicy, juicy target.
This
Teleport
TP is,
being channeled. All of a sudden, the Devour and the Impale has already been used. The teleport completes. SK Telecom have got caught out. G2 did not hesitate the moment that summoner was used. Jankos escapes with his life for a few seconds. Faker unable to find the kill. Wonder arrives as well. The tower goes down. The kill onto Teddy. And G2, do they fancy themselves Baron?
Big mistake from Teddy, teleporting onto an already almost dead turret as G2 walked up. They're certainly going to set up around it and see what they can get.
Look at the Narbar. Wonder's still got Flash and his ultimate available. Clid is not here yet. He has been brought in with the Abyssal Voyage. This is going to be a problem. Baron's being melted, but Clid can't get in. This is close. Managed to secure it. Caps that picks it up. Faker is not done. He's got himself a Mega Gnar. Here comes Wonder. Gnar into the wall. Into the crunch. The wallop. Faker gets a reply, but it doesn't matter. 5-man party in the chicken camp. And SKT are running for their lives. Clid escapes, but he's the only one.
And G2 finally secured themselves the Baron and put themselves in a much more commanding position. Faker has been trying so hard to turn these fights around, but the one time he can't do it, G2 take everything.
Teddy's TP started the dominoes and they crashed down with a G2 Baron. And now SKT have to go back to the early game. They have to play the waiting game again, but against Realm Warp, against Baron, and 3-lane push.
It feels like a split-second decision cost so much. That was at the mid lane that led to this fight.
And this is the first big Wonder ultimate that we get to see this game. Faker tries to get the shield out. Look, he even tries to steal the Gnar ultimate so that he can turn it around, but just a little too slow on the plate, and he cannot convert it. Clid, he's forced to leave his support behind as Marta gets chased down, and G2 walk away as a very happy team.
Well, one G2 teamfight win away from a game 5 from Silver Scrapes, from everything that represents. Because with the Baron buff, they can clash through the game. You saw how quickly they deleted Baron.
7,500 gold up. 90 seconds to the next Dragon. We've got 3 or 4 items being picked up from multiple members of G2 Esports, so this feels like a very similar game to many of the previous in this series. The team that gets ahead in the early game starts to fly. There's still 2 minutes left on Baron, and a 4,300 gold Baron power play. That is ginormous. And G2 aren't done yet. They want to continue pushing those numbers even higher.
Is now a 5-turret to 0 advantage. SKT, one more pick to come.
All right, Jankos decides not to overchase. Threw down the Predator, looking for the engagement. They've just been the Righteous Glory, in fact. Take a look at Faker. He's got the Mega Gnar once again.
Fool me once, fool me twice. Perhaps not the third time.
And third time's the charm, right? Because Mid lane one was decisive, helped SKT win. River, not so much. Now we need to see what SKT can do against the Siege.
Wonder now moving into the bot lane, and the 1-3-1 can now be properly set up from the side of G2. There's still a minute left on the Baron, and with all 3 waves crashing in, SKT should be forced to give up at least one of these Nexus towers.
In the push in here, they can play the patient game that has evaded some of our other great 1-3-1 teams. Single Mountain Drake, another one to come up, and SKT can only defend in so many places.
Yeah, definitely the case. Mickey and Perks just waiting the wings. I wondered if they fancied like a Chain of Corruption engage, but 45 seconds on Baron. Sneeney, 5,400 gold and the power play. Mountain Drake is available, by the way. Will come up right now. And the Ash Arrow will catch out Yankos, but take a look at Caps. He almost blows up Khan. Now he goes golden thanks to the Hourglass. Devour will buy some time. Yankos steps forward. Chain of Corruption starts to spread. Here comes Faker. The Nars decent, but maybe not enough. Mickey joins the fray. He's going to step forward. All of a sudden, it's Mata that's down, but they've got Perks. Somehow Clid manages to find him. Mickey's ultimate knocks up Faker in the air. It ends up being a 1-for-3 in favor of G2.
G2 can still be happy off the back of this. There are only 2 members dead on the side of SKT, so they will try to hold the line. The wave clear from the Victor is still there. Teddy is up and alive as well.
The Realm Warp in combat was big too. It stopped Teddy from having 3 autos onto multiple members, and G2 want to wreck the base.
They absolutely do. Top lane inhibitor is down. The turret falls in the bottom lane. The inhibitor is a few seconds away. 20 seconds for Faker, 5 for Mata, and G2 Esports this time started back out. Clid is still burrowed and starting to chase forward, but gonna step away. G2 open up the base with the Baron, and they've still got that mountain to fall back to if they fancy it.
So SKT take a page out of the G2 book, and they decide to attack one of the sides because they know that with 3 lanes pushing into their base, they're guaranteed to lose something. So let's just make the best out of a bad situation, and let's try and get a shutdown onto Caps. Let's try and kill this Rise. Unfortunately for SKT, it doesn't go the way that they want.
SKT really want to kill the Mountain Drake as fast as possible because they don't want Elder to spawn at 35 minutes. Actually having this Drake down and forcing another spawn stops there from being an overwhelming win condition, because right now getting out of the base and setting up around an Elder and a Baron, that's too much with how far behind they are.
You're completely right, Papa Smithy. It's a good thing to spot as well, and now we see SKT as they try to get this collapse onto Perks. So the Tahm Kench ultimate comes in with the Rise. The Ash Arrow actually collides with the Skarner rather than onto Caps, and you can just see how much damage output Caps actually puts out in this fight. Immediately the double teleport comes out from both Perks and Wonder, and this is when the team fight really kicks off.
But we were waiting for Faker to enter this fight. Remember, still has the Mega Gnar ult, gets a big one, and suddenly you see Ashbury hitting that. Okay, this could actually be their undoing. Suddenly, Clid goes way further than expected into the back line, and suddenly Teddy gets no more autos off during the fight.
That Realm Warp was absolutely insane from Caps. The awareness to be able to get out of that situation was very, very quick. But now G2, they have both side lanes pushing in. Their last tower is the mid one.
Faker has stolen himself a Chain of Corruption. G2 have got a 10,000 gold lead and quickly scan the items. Adaptive Helm for Yankos, Wit's End and Phantom Dancer for Wonder. Teddy sitting on the eye edge, Blade of the Ruined King and Hurricane, as well as the Adaptive Helm for Clid. Iceborne Gauntlet sitting for Khan. Those are the power items that these teams are working with, but SK Telecom need to be greater than the sum of their parts, as they are down 10k. They are down super minions, and Wonder is about to gnar out. He will transform shortly. Mickey uses his ultimate as Perks, goes low, gets caught out by the ECA, and here comes Faker. He steps forward. Perks buys some time with a stopwatch, but take a look at Clid. He gets impaled and pulled backwards. Buys some time with a stopwatch of his own. Super minions are inside the base, but not yet on the Nexus, and Wonder's Mega Gnar does not matter. Faker stole himself a Realm Warp, and now he's chasing G2 down. Yankos will get a stun onto Mata, and look at the base. Khan is trying to, no, Clid is trying to stop Wonder. All of a sudden, Cap should get run down here. He gets the shield for a few seconds longer. Wonder has pushed the super minions into the base. This is just a fight in every single front.
But it's SKT that managed to hold the line. They find a really big fight onto G2, and they take out Caps and Perks. That means that no Nexus turrets end up going down. They keep their mid inhibitor alive, and with the Baron up, they get an opportunity to reposition and potentially contest.
The clear call would have been, we have to try something. Wonder is literally setting up for a 5-man Gnar ultimate, whether it was on the inhibitor turret or the inhibitor itself. There was a guaranteed engage there. that meant that Wonder was actually out of position for the entire fight and couldn't make any inroads. And now SKT, it's all in time.
It never feels like SK Telecom are out of a game. They've managed to bring themselves into the Baron pit. Look at the minimap. Caps is alive in 7 seconds of TP. Wonder's pushing into the base. Jankos has got Flash available, has got Smite available. He's inside the pit. The Baron is low, but the Devourer is up. It's all of a sudden secured by SK Telecom. Wonder is onto the Nexus turrets with the help of Caps. Khan is here. The teleports are starting to be channeled. Wonder's about to gnaw out. He needs to do something magical. Caps gets the shield. The Mega Gnaw goes backwards, but it's not going to be enough to save his life. Klid uses the Void Rush. One Nexus turret falls, and SK Telecom are right back in it.
They stand firm just in the single moment where they had to get through. The teleports, if they were cancelled, game will be over, and here's Caps.
All right, he's forced to flash away. Khan's trying to run him down. If he can use those Qs onto minions and use the speed buff, it should work. But look at Klid. He's hunting as well in the borrowed form. Caps does have a lot of movement speed and a shield in his kit, but he's got to play this flawlessly. Klid's coming up. Void Rush. Look at the damage with the tower. That's at least one in reply. Klid donates it to Caps. Caps is able to escape. The Spellbinder plus Phase Rush plus tower. And all of a sudden, Caps is turning it back.
It's actually pinging onto the Victor. Excuse me, as they try to look for a play, but that was actually unbelievable from SKT. The split-second decision-making to use the Tahm Kench ultimate to come into the back of the Baron pit, and here you can see Marta with a crisp cleanse to then consume the jungler so that he cannot get into Smite Steal. Means that with the Baron going down, Faker can teleport back to base, and Klid can quickly join it.
Very rarely at 35 minutes is Tahm Kench mechanics something that you point to, but actually, he got a lot done in that scenario. The overall chase doesn't get them a further kill. And we did see Klid go down, but SKT are living on a prayer, and that's a few prayers in a row already.
Unbelievable. 35 seconds to the next Drake, then a further 5-ish minutes until the Elder Drake will spawn. That was the delay you talked about, Papa Smithy. That could have been the game-deciding buff for G2, and all of a sudden, that 6K gold lead at 33 minutes feels insignificant.
It's not always intentional, but you could have just backed away and said, okay, what's the point of taking this Drake? Taking it there buys you some breathing room because you just can't defend everywhere, and this is far from defense. SKT finally taking turrets. Remember, they had 0 for the first 30 minutes.
All right, Chance of Crystal Arrow. This one is going to be targeting on a Caps. If he had started the teleport, that is what that was trying to dissuade. Caps and Wonder are pushing both lanes. The Empowered Recalls, though, is a tool that Faker and SKT choose not to use. Faker steps forward. Chain of Corruption starts to spread. Perks as well as Mickey trying to do what they can. They've dissuaded enough for now. Caps and Wonder, they're pushing in. This is going to be for the final fight.
This is the G2 classic. They never go for conventional when trying to end the game. They're split pushing right now. Rise joins the top side. Here they go.
All right, Abyssal Voyage will deliver Teddy to the back line, but Caps and Wonder are on the Nexus. They will not go quietly. The Nexus is being focused, but look at Faker. Nexus 1 or 2 more hits. Mega Man on top. Wonder forces game 5.
That was the play that G2 needed to make to find the final victory. SKT looked so terrifying in those final moments. Faker was